the Greater Goods Nutrition Food Scale. Now you could Google that or go to Amazon.com and check it out. It's that really fancy food scale that has nutrition facts and it looks like a food label on the side. And I thought, well, that looks really interesting. Actually, I have already seen this floating around like years ago, right? I just never really had a reason to go get it because I felt the system I had using my MyFitnessPal in a normal scale was totally fine. But since it popped up the last couple of weeks, I just got kind of interested. Like I went and bought this with the intention of purely reviewing it and not using it because I'm really happy with the system I have down. I don't know if I really want to learn a new system unless of course it comes as a really big surprise and it really ups my quality of life with calorie counting. Then yeah, of course, then I'll switch to it. But I have had this for maybe 24 hours or less. I've played around with it and I gotta be super honest. Let's start with the good things, right? Good things is out of the box, it looks really well made. It's not some cheap scale. This really feels like some work was put into it. When I got it from Amazon, it was like $44.88, not including shipping, and that's in US dollars. So I'm not gonna talk about shipping because that's depending on where you are, that's gonna differ. Being in Taiwan, I usually have to pay a little bit more, which I don't mind as long as I can access the products, but that's beyond the point. So 44.88, let's just say $45 for this scale. Is it on the expensive side? 100% yes. Like the scale that I have, I got here locally and it's a more upscale one because it measures to the 0.1 grams and measures all the way up to 5 kilograms. That was like 25 USD and this is 45. So I could buy two of my old scales for this Greater Goods Nutrition Food Scale. Of course, this nutrition food scale has a lot more functions. It feels like a scientific calculator versus like a normal calculator. I really thought I was in for a surprise, right? Like, well, maybe technology has gone a little bit further over the past couple of years. I've never really kept up with it. I started using MyFitnessPal during its very early days, like even before it had the barcode function. Like, I don't think I figured out the barcode function until like 1 year in, and I think it was somewhere in there they made an update and included it. That's how early I've been using MyFitnessPal. And back then it was like with MyFitnessPal and any kind of food scale, it works. It works perfectly. It's not that much work. Once you get used to it, it's just a little workflow that you do when you're eating food. And till this day, I really enjoy it. Just that I don't use MyFitnessPal anymore. I'm using Carbon app. You know that story already. So good stuff with this Greater Goods Nutrition Food Scale is it's really well made. It looks really pristine. Like I would maybe just put it on a shelf or on the side of a table as decoration. Like it's that kind of like pristine. It looks good. It looks well made. It feels well made. It has a weight to it. It's thin, but not that thin. It's not something I'd say is friendly to bring around with you because my usual scale that I use is literally half the size. So that one I bring around wherever I go. This one, if I had a scale this size that I was using on a daily basis, I'd probably leave at home and look for a smaller scale. Beyond how good it looks, beyond its build quality, I don't really have anything good to say about it. And I know it's not so fair. I've only had it for 24 hours. I haven't measured too many things on it, but it's just that the way it's made, it makes me feel like I don't want to use it. I guess I had to buy this to know. And full disclosure too, I saw some people using this. I went online, saw that it was available on Amazon, and I just got it. I did zero research on this. I just saw there was a lot of reviews, like over 10,000 reviews, and it was like 4-point-something stars. It looked like a good product. And I saw a lot of this is from one of the fitness groups that I'm a part of on Facebook groups. I think somebody posted theirs, and then a lot of others tagged along, was like, hey, I have one too. And I was like, oh, I didn't know so many people used it. I wonder what it's like. So it just impulsively bought it. Oh, of course, I asked you guys first, right? I asked you guys on IG, like, would you want a review on it? And I went ahead and ordered it. And so why? Why do I not really like this scale? Well, first off, for it to detect any kind of food that you're putting in, it has this food code thing at the very top where there's like a booklet, like a literal, almost like dictionary thing that it comes with this scale. And in it is like all kinds of numbers. It's called the food code booklet. For example, I want to weigh tomatoes, right? So I got to open this book. It has a table of contents. While I was doing this myself, I kept thinking tomatoes was a fruit. Apparently not. Tomatoes is a vegetable. So I was about to rage quit because I was like, I'm looking in fruits. I can't find tomatoes. Like, what is this? So I bought the scale. The booklet doesn't even have the most basic food. Like, well, what am I doing? But of course, then at the end of the day, it was my fault. So I'll take responsibility. I'm sorry for almost rage quitting. Flipping over to to vegetable section. See, right now I am currently flipping through it page by page. I feel like I'm in middle school. I'm like 12, 13 years old in the library again. I don't know the last time I was in a library. But here, see, I found tomatoes, and they have all kinds of tomatoes. They have tomato products, canned. They have tomato red ripe, tomato juice. Okay, I just want tomatoes red and ripe. Oh, sorry, there's actually a tomato raw. So I'll use that. And then there's a food code 0247. Once I've opened the book, I've located tomatoes, and I figured out it's 0247. I got to put 0247 into the scale. And once you do that, it displays the calories, the fats, the saturated fats, cholesterol, sodium, all that jazz. Of course, also with the weight. Now, why this thing by itself is just a complete turnoff for me? Because even after I figured that out, right? I figured all the nutrition values there, I still got to jot it down somewhere. So I got to get the booklet, find the code, weigh the food, and then translate that into my MyFitnessPal or pen and paper or Microsoft Word or whatever note-taking thing that I'm using. Which basically means I could skip all of those steps by directly using a normal scale and my MyFitnessPal, because if I weigh something on a normal scale and I enter it into my MyFitnessPal, it is automatically tracking. I don't have to double track. I don't have to put that data into another thing. My MyFitnessPal itself is a tracker. And I thought I had it backwards, right? I thought, okay, there's gotta be something I'm missing here. Maybe this has a Bluetooth function where there's an app that you could download. It helps you track like that. So it's basically a calorie tracker. And if you put in the 0247 into the scale, you weigh it, it automatically translates to the app so you don't have to double track. Kind of like a smart scale, right? The scale that I'm using currently, that I've been using for maybe 3 to 4 years. There's an app that comes with it. Every morning I turn on the app, I step on the scale, and that's it. My weight for that day is recorded. I don't need to pen and paper or go into any other app to track my weight. It is kind of convenient. It's not that necessary. It's very luxury, but I thought this is what the Greater Goods Nutrition Food Scale is. It's a luxury. You don't really need a scale like this, but it's not. And of course, the food code booklet also states in front that there's a food code app that you could download. Now, I typed in food code app into the app store, got nothing. I typed food code, got nothing. I had to go in and type Greater Goods food code app for it to finally pop up. And when I saw it, it was a 1-star review app. And I kind of looked at it. I didn't want to download it because I don't really like bloating my phone. Like if the app is pointless, I'm not going to get it. Not even for the sake of this review, because this review was supposed to be fun. And immediately this thing's already frustrating me. It's like, why are you making such a product? Like, I think you completely missed the point. This is not better than a normal scale. A scale at the wet market, those manual scales that work on a clock interface, those work better than this because this makes you double track, and that's just wasting time. I was thinking that the app had a tracking function. It doesn't. And so all we're doing with this food scale is, I mean, for a lack of better words, you're just wasting time. Like, you could save so much time by using an app like MyFitnessPal, and MyFitnessPal is free. And so it got me thinking, so then what is this scale for? I guess for people that aren't really into calorie tracking for whatever reason, this could, in some shape or form, make the concept easier for people that are more technologically or digitally challenged. Like, okay, my mom, right? My mom, she's in her 60s. She is very anti-technology. I grew up with technology. We had a computer at home, and until this day, my mom does not know how to use the mouse. Like, she doesn't know how to aim the mouse. Until this day, my mom does not have a smartphone. To reach her, I have to call my dad that has a smartphone, or I have to call a landline. That's right. I have to call a landline to reach my mom. She does not watch YouTube. She still watches cable TV. So for somebody like her, which I guess there is a population of people like her, I guess this food scale is good. Because, I mean, she doesn't have to deal with technology. Everything is in a booklet, which is actually something she prefers. She's still somebody that jots down phone numbers and all that in her little notebook. And so this notebook of all these food codes would be useful to her, would probably be something she treasures because she's so anti-modern technology. But then other than that, then I was thinking, who is this really for? It's a luxury item. It looks good. but it's not really a flex, right? It's just like a cool gadget, but the gadget isn't really that useful for my own habits and my own experiences with calorie counting. I just can't find a use for this. Like if I do end up using this scale, I will use it as a normal scale. I will completely ignore all the food codes, and I will just, because you can turn this on and use it as a normal scale, it will just tell you how many grams whatever you're putting on it is, but then all the other stuff, it's not going to show you calories and all that stuff. And then that would be the extent that I use it. And so as I thought about it, I realized that this scale has been out for a while, but definitely not older than MyFitnessPal. I haven't fact checked this, but I'm pretty sure, because all the reviews that I'm looking at it on YouTube after the fact, right? I started looking up YouTube to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. But most of the reviews I'm looking at, the oldest was like 6 years ago. Now, 6 years ago, MyFitnessPal was definitely around. Like I've been using MyFitnessPal since 2015. This is definitely not older. And I bring up that point because if this scale existed before MyFitnessPal, it's a godsend. It's an absolute godsend. This is like the best product ever, because before MyFitnessPal, there was really no way to track your food. At least there was no systematic way. So do I recommend this scale? Let's put it this way. The scale is not completely useless. I think the scale is also a great decorative piece. Like if you put it in your kitchen, it looks cool. People come over, they're like, what the hell is that? Oh yeah, this is what I used to track calories. It's cool like that. Obviously not needed, obviously just fun, but also the price at $45, I would say with the build quality, it feels like it could last a long time. My other scale that I'm using, I've been using it since 2015. It's 2023 now. It hasn't skipped a beat. I've changed batteries twice. And I believe this build is probably better. I'm hoping it's better. So if you do buy this scale, you do have a scale for life. So $45 for a fancy looking scale that you could show off to your friends to for life, I would say is worth it. Not a necessity, but it's worth it. But beyond that, I mean, you could use any scale, really. You don't need to fork out a $45 for this. Let's check on Amazon. Let's check on Amazon right now. I'm going to check on Amazon right now and see what's the cheapest food scale we can find. All right, so over here, it is on average $9, $12, $9, $10, $21. Yeah, okay, roughly that range, right? So a food scale, and we're talking about digital food scales, right? I'm sure if you go to your like local market, you can find some scale for even way cheaper. But a digital scale, you're looking at a price tag of $9 to $20, and that's already very decent. That's already like all you need for calorie counting. Because remember, we're still looking at calorie counting, right? Calorie counting is the main thing, and if that's what you need, any normal scale will be able to do it. And so this scale is really not a necessity. It's just it's so fancy. It looks good. Like I promise you, I won't throw this away. I won't give this away. I want to keep it. I think it's a nice item to have at home. I mean, me being somebody that counts calories all the time, it's a nice decorative piece. I'll probably find a shelf for it somewhere. I won't use it because I'm already used to my own system. I gotta make sure I put the food code booklet somewhere safe. So if anybody decides they want to use it, like if my mom wants to use it, that she could use it. And that is my review of the Greater Goods Nutrition Food Scale.